What's going on, true believers? Daniel here, and welcome to my Spider-Man Homecoming spoiler review. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Make sure you have seen Spider-Man Homecoming. If you haven't, this is going to ruin your experience. This is going to alter everything. Make sure we're going to be talking about stuff that happened during the film that I cannot talk about in a regular review. So make sure you have seen the film, or if you just don't, if you already know spoilers and you don't care, then sure, go ahead. It's free will, man. Do what you want, but please, I want you to experience this film and have fun and get that full reaction, you know. So anyway, again, spoilers. If you want my quick thoughts on it, which I did do a quick review, but if I want to summarize the quick review, I think it is a great film. It's a great superhero film, and it's my favorite Spider-Man film of all time. Spider-Man 2 is always going to be something in my heart, and it's always going to be a special place in my heart. I do love Spider-Man 2. I think it's a really great Spider-Man film, and it has been for over a decade. And now that Homecoming's come out, I will say for a Spider-Man film, it tops Spider-Man 2. Always respect and love for Tobey Maguire and Alfred Molina, Doc Ock. Now, I think it had a great character. It definitely had a great variety of characters. It was funny. I genuinely, I laughed. I laughed a lot in this film. I had a lot of reactions to it. I was smiling from ear to ear in many scenes, which some I will reveal of what spots. So I really enjoyed this film more than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I thought was a good film with great moments. This is a great film, and it's a great comic book accurate film. So anyway, I thought it was great. It's not a 10 out of 10. It has problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, woo, writing the Marvel, I'm writing Marvel's whatever, I'm a Marvel fan, DC fan. I love both sides. But with this, and you want it to be better than each and every other film. I think it's better than Logan. Doesn't mean Logan's a horrible film. Logan still holds a special place in my heart, and it's also better than Wonder Woman. Doesn't mean Wonder Woman's bad. I thought Wonder Woman was great. But this, and it's good when other films top each other. You want that. You don't want it to be horrible and less than that. You want it to top each other. So anyway, now on to the spoiler review. Thank you guys again for joining me. Let's go. The first thing I want to talk about, which had my jaw drop open. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. It's a very unpredictable moment. And I literally had my mouth open for probably about a minute and a half. And I'm looking at the scene, and I'm literally like that. I can't really recreate my reaction, but I had to move sort of, not to the edge of my seat, but in the middle, like more leaning up. And I was the moment when Peter, in his Homecoming, and he goes to Liz Allen's house, and Vulture, Adrian Toomes, opens the door. Michael Keaton, that moment there, that is the moment for me in the film of like, what the fuck type of moment. Holy shit. I don't know how I did not see that coming, and that's so awesome that I didn't. I had no clue that was gonna, I'm thinking Liz Allen's just a regular, ain't gonna have no what is the odds of that? That is. And I'm not saying like that's horrible storytelling, blah blah blah. The odds of that happening. I'm just saying how cool is that was how it had happened, and how it's all connected. So I love that twist there. I thought it was very genius. Whoever came up with, I don't know, it was the writers, John Watts. I don't know who had the idea to do that, but whoever that one person or two, collaboration was, you guys did awesome. Now, over the past months, some people that I've talked to at work and stuff about Spider-Man Homecoming, and when new trailers come out, and I talk about it with people, and I've been saying, this is true, I've been saying that I feel like it's going to suck. I feel like it's going to not be good. I feel like it's going to be okay. That's it. Because the trailers, they're fine. The trailers are not amazing, It's not my most hyped up film, obviously. I'm more hyped up for Thor Ragnarok and stuff. But really seeing it it went past my expectations, and it proved me wrong in many senses. Now, it's not like I was saying Tom Holland's going to be horrible. I thought Tom Holland did amazing in Civil War. That little chunk there, he was the best Spider-Man. Now, with this, a full-length film, I was thinking Michael Keaton's just going to be a throwaway villain. They're going to ruin Michael Keaton. They're not going to use him right. And I was totally wrong about many things. And I didn't say it publicly. I said more just to my friends and stuff. So with that, I'm very happy that I was proven wrong in a sense where I thought like, oh, Sony's going to ruin it with Marvel. They're going to end up doing something wrong. And they didn't, because, again, it's awesome. It's an awesome film, an awesome experience. And with that, I'm happy that Michael Keaton was kept alive. Vulture, Adrian Toomes is still alive at the end of the film. And in the post-credit scene, you see him talking to Michael Mando, was his name? The actor, he's come out in Better Call Saul. He's Voss in Far Cry 3. He's a really awesome actor. And he's basically Venom. Or not Venom. I don't know. I keep on saying Venom all the time. Scorpion. It's a tease for Scorpion. Which I'm assuming is going to be the next main villain in Spider-Man Homecoming 2, whatever it's going to be called, Spider-Man 2. I don't think that he's going to end up being the main villain, but hopefully he has he's going to be a side villain, because I don't know, I can't see Scorpion being the main villain for a movie. But the same could be said about when I said I thought Shocker would be great to be the main villain for a film, and they totally bombed Shocker in this film. They shouldn't have had him in this film whatsoever. It was really horrible the way they did Shocker. I'm very pissed about that. It's one of the problems I have. But again, them keeping him alive and keeping Vulture alive, I thought that was really awesome. Because the whole time I'm saying he's just going to die. He's probably going to just get thrown into a propeller. But that whole twist there again, I didn't expect him to be Liz Allen's dad. That was very unexpected, and that was great storytelling and very unpredictable. So I'm very happy for that, and I don't know, words can't explain, but I'm very happy that Michael Keaton's still alive. And does that mean that Michael Keaton can return as Adrian Toomes? It definitely does, and I'm very happy, and I hope Michael Keaton kind of signed a multi-picture deal, because I would like to see more Michael Keaton in the MCU. That'd be really cool there. Just like I mentioned a few moments ago, Shocker being wasted. I've always wanted Shocker in a Spider-Man film ever since I was a young kid. After Spider-Man 2 released, I always told my cousin I want Shocker as the main villain in the film. Sadly, he's a side villain in here, and not even better at all. It's just horrible. There's no need for him to be in this film. You could have saved him for another film. Mind you, he's not dead at all, but the actor who plays him, Bookham something, I don't remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I could see it, but I can't say it. He was in Fargo Season 2, and he was stunning in there. He was fantastic. He's a really awesome actor. Here, he barely has any lines. He's just... that, if I could change anything, I would change his crew, because his crew wasn't explained that well. And don't get me wrong, not everything needs to be holding your hand, blah blah blah, but his crew, like, I think the other guy's name was the Tinkerer. I wouldn't have no other idea. I really wouldn't. All I know is they're just a bunch of guys that look like they smell, and looks like they don't have a life. It looks like they don't have family. Honestly, they don't, because they're always working there with Adrian Toomes. The guy's just sitting down working on stuff all the time. We'd never see him actually stand up. Fat fuck. So, you know what I mean? Like, the whole crew situation and stuff, and the guy getting dissolved, and he's like, I thought this was the gravity gun. It could have been better with the crew. And, again, that doesn't ruin the film. It's not like it makes the film horrible. It doesn't, because, honestly, there was no scene in this film that I would have taken out. I thought it was a really well-paced film. And, honestly, I'm actually, I'm happy about that, because usually in most films and in recent Marvel films, there's a lot of scenes in there where it's like, you could alter that, or you could take that one out, or this is a slow scene here, this is a scene I'll skip on the Blu-ray, blah blah blah. A scene I don't really care to see again. I have to sit through that one in the theater again when I see it again. So with this one, I have to say that all the scenes were well paced, and it's Not really. Each scene is interesting in its own perspective. But again, his crew, they're fine, but they're not as good as they could have been. So with that, I'm kind of pissed off that Shocker was wasted, and he didn't even have a costume. And I think there were leaked photos where he did have a costume. I don't know if they didn't use it. It most seems that they didn't end up using it, but I really think it would have been better if he would have had a costume to add with it and actually have that Shocker look. But again, he's still alive, and Shocker can return in the future, which I think is a cool thing. Hopefully they bring him back and use him right. Next up, a thing that we all saw coming. I don't think it was a huge surprise. It still got me in a way, because when it's actually confirmed, it's another level of excitement. Zendaya, basically her character, Michelle, she's MJ. I think it's Michelle Jones is her name. They just say Michelle. But her name is MJ, or my friends call me MJ, and it's basically like, I see what you're doing there, Sony and Marvel. MJ, Mary Jane's, Michelle Jones, that's actually a very smart move. Now, no way did Zendaya end up becoming, she was just kind of on the side, and not much love towards Peter. She didn't hate Peter, it's just more of a sense that she's just like, you nerd. Oh, you are. But she was really cool in the film for the scenes that she was in. She was a likable character. She had the funny moments in there, the comedic chops. For the comedic timing, excuse me. She had the comedic timing there. I'm just into tension because I like drawing people's emotions, and the way that she did that. That was really cool. So I'm happy, and obviously Zendaya will return in future sequels. May possibly be in Infinity War. Probably part 2, because you would think, no, maybe not, but you would think certain characters from each individual film would end up popping up to support the main hero that will be in there. So the reveal of her being MJ, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's not the biggest reveal of the movie, and it's just sad that Liz Allen didn't get much love, because when you think about it, Spider-Man Homecoming, it's Vulture and stuff, but Homecoming wasn't really even in the movie. Like, they show Homecoming for a second, and then Peter has to go run off. So, honestly, Homecoming wasn't even a huge deal in the film, and he didn't even really go to Homecoming. He went for a second, and he's like, Liz, I gotta go. So, I didn't think that it really needed to be called Spider-Man Homecoming. It could have been, I mean, it's not a horrible title, I'm just saying it could have been something else, because Homecoming wasn't even a big factor in the film. It was like 4% of the film, 3% of the film, not even really a percent. Homecoming was barely in the film at all for it to be called Spider-Man. It should have been called Spider-Man Decathlon Math Team or something like that, because that was a bigger factor than Homecoming itself. So with that, Liz Allen, she's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl, and honestly, I'm like, Peter, you're gonna get the push. You're gonna get the push there, Peter. But honestly, it's like, I really like you, Liz, but I would be like, your dad can wait here. Like, he had it in the palm of his hand, and then like, she's moving at the end of the film, and it's like, okay. And that moment when I think the AI, which I think Jennifer Connelly voices the AI, she said, like, now's your chance, kiss her. And it was that moment where he's upside down, and he literally could have kissed her. And I said, that's a missed opportunity right there. It would be awkward around the people, but he really missed an opportunity at kissing anyone in this film. He had the chance, even at the party, which I thought Flash Thompson was an okay character. He was more cheesy, and that's fine with a film like this. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't take Flash Thompson out of the film, but he felt very just like he didn't need to be in there. Like, he was an overacted bully, I think. And the actor is a fine actor. I've seen him in other films. I just think he overacted the bully part. When I say penis, you say Barker. Penis, Barker. Like, not one guy would be so tempted to ruin Peter Parker's life. Like, he must have a small penis or something that he has to make fun of Peter Parker or something. Anyway, what am I talking about? MJ, that reveal, that was fine. I'll look at my notes right here. I don't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, no kiss for Liz or anything like that. Again, I thought that was a missed opportunity that Peter didn't... Like, he has a crush, and then at the end it's more like, oh, your father is more important, which I get it. He's trying to be a superhero and stuff, but at the same time, that's the thing about the characters. He has to be a kid at the same time. You have to enjoy your homecoming, you know. Go defeat the dad, and then go back to homecoming like an hour later... And you really let Liz down. It was a very dick move. Again, letting Liz down. He at least should have told her at the end that, hey, I'm Spider-Man. He could have at least revealed to someone that he's Spider-Man. How Aunt May knows now at the end of the film, which I thought was a really fun way to end the film, because I thought the movie was going to go on. And in a sort of way, I was sitting in the theater, and I didn't want the film to end. I wanted it to continue. I was like, let's just go to the next villain. Let's go to the next chapter. And now we have to wait who knows how long until 2019 to see the next chapter of Spider-Man. But I really enjoyed that ending there where she's like, what did she say? Did she say, what the fuck? Or did she say, holy shit? No, I think she said, like, what the f... And then it went to the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop. So... you have a funny ending there, and then you have an emotional ending with Yondu and Guardians, too. So, it's a nice change. It kind of makes me think, how's Thor Ragnarok going to end there? Is it going to be funny? Is it going to be sad? Is it going to be... what's it going to be? With that as well, Stan Lee's cameo. It was a fine cameo. It wasn't... I really think it should have been more him talking to Peter Parker. I really think it should have been one of those scenes. Because you're thinking, okay, he's back in the MCU. Have Stan Lee talk to Peter Parker like I don't know, something. Hey, true believer, Stan Lee here. Something like that. But they didn't end up doing that. It's not his best cameo. It's not his worst. It was fine. Now, Donald Glover was in this film, and he looks a lot like Childish Gambino for some reason. So, anyway, Donald Glover... he ends up playing this guy like Aaron Davis, and he looks high. I think that was just him trying to pretend to be high in a way. Like, you know, I'm a thug, and you really got to get better at this interrogation stuff. I have a nephew. Like, that was basically... I love Donald Glover, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, what is this? It's cool to see him in the film. Anyway, he basically teases and... well, I think it's already confirmed, but he says he has a nephew, and it's like, Miles Morales, because he's black. And I buy it. He's probably Miles Morales. So, and no doubt, I think Kevin Feige even said Miles Morales does exist in the MCU. I don't expect Miles Morales until 2022, 2023, as in, like, popping up in Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 4, because we don't need him now. He could have him wait a few more years, Spider-Man 3, and then bring him in and introduce him into the universe properly. But with that, I really think his name should have been, like, Aaron Miles or Aaron Morales. I think that would have been more of, like, people in the theater would be like, oh, you know, something like that. But still, I guess for an Easter egg, it does kind of work in a way where it says my nephew, and it's like, Miles Morales. Now, for me, I would say that Act 3 is my favorite act in Spider-Man Homecoming. And I think Act 3 really begins, again, where Peter ends up meeting Liz Allen's dad, which is Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton. From that point on to the end of the film, that's basically Act 3. The redemption, the rebirth of Peter Parker, and especially that awesome scene when he looks and the rebel's on him, and the way Tom Holland acts it out, and he's like, help me, and he's a really, you know, helpless child at that point. And I would, you're thinking you're stuck and you're dead, And the way he looks at the water and the half mask, half thing, again, it's happened in previous Spider-Man film before, but I absolutely love that scene. It's another one where I smiled ear to ear, where I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. This is like, we're actually seeing this, and it's a really beautiful thing. But another huge thing I'd have to say, because it's in Act 3, is really not only in Act 2, the lecture of what Tony Stark said to Tom Holland, or Peter Parker. This part in Act 3 where Gwyneth Paltrow ends up coming back, and it's like, Pepper, it's like, you came back, Gwyneth. Where were you in Age of Ultron? You know, like, holy shit. I absolutely love... I did not expect her to come out. I think I heard that she would be in Infinity War, but her actually doing a cameo in Homecoming, I'm like, where were you? Pepper, I miss you. And the way that I guess he's going to propose to her in front of the press conference, which, again... I still don't know why he just doesn't say, Spider-Man joining the Avengers. That's it. That's all you gotta say to the people. I don't know why he just didn't say that. Because that could still be news. What, do you expect Peter Parker to walk out and be like, I'm Spider-Man? Yeah, you could just say Spider-Man's part of the Avengers now. We signed a contract. That's all you gotta say. As well, the Iron Spider suit, which I think some people are saying, that's not the Iron Spider suit. It looks... like 85% of it looks like the Iron Spider suit. I was kind of pissed that they didn't have like the actual iron claw spider things out of it. I think that was, if it's gonna be the Iron Spider suit, I think that's a missed opportunity right there. I thought there were times where I thought he was gonna press a button and then the things were gonna come out and stuff like that, but I guess not. But it still was. It was a beautiful suit, very glossy, very silk, something out of a video game sort of thing. So I'm very happy that he's getting a new suit. I like all of his suits: his prototype suit, his regular Homecoming suit, and then this one. And I can't wait to actually see him don it and wear it in Infinity War. As well, did anyone actually hear when he ended up talking? Happy. Happy's back, by the way, too. Fucking awesome. He has some of the best scenes in there. He's so funny. John Favreau. I can't say his name all the time. I mess up. But the way he's like, we have the prototype Captain America shield, like a new prototype Captain America shield. I think he says new. And then Thor's belt, which I'm like, oh, we got some new things coming in. I like that. I like that. So it's a really cool Easter egg tease there. Also, with the opening, Damage Control. I'm not very familiar with Damage Control, but actually having them introduced in the universe with this film, that's really awesome. It's cool to see that after Civil War, that's what Tony Stark ended up doing. So that's a really cool nod there. With the point of view with Peter Parker, like a film by Peter Parker, and he's talking over the phone and stuff, I thought it was kind of bad, though, with the Civil War point of view, because he's recording and he's like, oh my god, there's Black Widow, there's this and that, and then he's like, Underoos! And it ended up showing from his point of view, like him jumping, and he's like, hey guys, or like, what's up? And it was, I don't know, the way it was edited and the way that it looked very, very, I don't know, it didn't fit, it didn't work, they didn't need that in there from that point of view. Especially when Ant-Man turned into Giant Man, he never even said, holy shit, because he wasn't holding the camera when that happened. I thought that one as well, that wasn't needed in the film. Alright guys, other than that, my leg is very sleepy and I'm in a very small corner in my room, so I really need to stretch my leg out. Thank you guys so much for watching the spoiler review, man. I really do appreciate it. This is just kind of things I wanted to talk about and get off my chest. And again, it does have a few problems. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10, but as a superhero film, a comic book film, and a Spider-Man film, all of it equals under great. And definitely, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I had a Marvel wall, and we're changing the room already, and we're going to another place very soon. So I ended up taking all the posters down and stuff. Altogether, I'm a Marvel and DC fan. I love both sides, but if I always have to choose first, it's Marvel. And I don't mean to be like, I know every Marvel film comes out, I'm like, it's great, and I overuse the word great all the time, but it's that experience of the theater, and I literally had genuine reactions of smiling and laughing, and I had kind of mid-low expectations for this film, and I was just proven wrong. I mean, it's awesome. It's an awesome film. It's a fun experience. I love high school films, so it does have little moments, very little, that feels like an indie film. And then all the other parts, I mean, again, with Robert Downey Jr.'s part, and all the characters have their moments, except Vulture's crew, I think. And also Liz Allen could have been explored a little bit more. There could have been more backstory for certain characters, for sure. But for the most part, I think 90% of this film, it's really great. And the other 10% is just, could have been fixed, could have been done differently. But I think every action scene, it has its intense moments, and I can't wait to actually see it in IMAX 3D and see the different sort of experience I'll get from that. Thank you guys again so much, and make sure to comment down below and tell me your thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming, your favorite parts, and all that jazz. Thank you guys again. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys for more spoiler reviews in the future, and the next 2 superhero films this year, Thor Ragnarok and Justice League. If you guys want to see my spoiler review for Wonder Woman and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'll probably put it at the end of the video or in the links. So I'll try to do that. Thank you guys again. Until next time. Bye-bye.